build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance.
Hello everybody, welcome to Longbangers. I'm Matty.
Good evening, I'm Colin, sitting in my cupboard.
You what?
Sitting in my cupboard.
Sitting in your cupboard, aye.
Does it look like that? Does it look like a cupboard? When
It does.
Not too bad.
I was going to say it has like a bit of an air of a toilet about it, but you wouldn't have the back of the toilet where you're sitting on the door.
No.
So you can for
That's right.
definite you're not sitting
Toilet's
on the
actually directly over the corridor.
Aye.
The hall. Let's call it a hall.
Hall. Aye. Hall, not hole. Aye, how you doing? Anyway.
All right, yeah. Busy day, but not too much time to think about the football. Probably a good thing in the moment.
Aye, well, obviously we'll get stuck into that in just a second because I'm glad we're recording now and not last night.
Aye, I've seen some of your messages and your tweets and that, so
man.
probably.
At full time, it's a really funny thing, right? When football does this to you, and I was thinking about it earlier, right? So I calmed down and I'm kind of quite, I don't know, like pragmatic about what happened yesterday, but before we go into it properly. And I was thinking, why did I have that reaction last night? So you've got the disappointment of that late goal, and it was minutes away. Like you're kind of going, good, right, we've done it, and you get sucker punched. And I think it was like the culmination of that whole week. Kind of, you got the disappointment at Aberdeen, the disappointment at Ross County on the Tuesday night, the last week, and you just sort of, I was just like, I just had rage. And I found it difficult to sort of see any positives for the game in the immediate aftermath. And I was like, I was scunnered about Colin, like totally sick of seeing Hibs do that. Anyway,
then did you wake up this morning on your birthday and get a nice new strip?
I did actually like it.
I just realised it's smart.
Like it? Aye, I like this one.
I thought you've not had that one on before. That's nice.
I got a cracking pair of trainers. I'll send you a picture of them. Last year I got a pair of Adidas ones, green ones with white stripes. These ones are white with green stripes. They're smart, and also through the zip.
I know that Dave hear that. Dave, I hope you're not listening.
Oh, I know. I'm going to wear them, Dave, with the jeans. I'm going to wear them with the football. I might put a suit on and wear them with them just to come and see you at your work, Dave. Just tap your door, wait till you come and get your fingers and bolt. I got the track in the track top, the warm up one that they come out in. My daughter got us that as well, which is good.
Hibs do nobody, you.
Aye, I can. And despite what some people think, we get nothing for the club. Do you know? Like I have seen it. I have seen it said that we're a mouthpiece for the club because we've been to the hospitality and fucking shit like that. What a load of nonsense.
The club's never invited us.
The club have not invited us, so if you're listening, the club will quite happy to be a mouthpiece if you give us the goods. Like we will do it. Like I'm not proud. Like I'm not proud. But it's the Pioneers will do. Aye, it doesn't have to go above that. Anyway,
there's only one above it, isn't it?
Aye, nonsense. Right, let's. Do you know what? I've just said that, and now I'm going to give like an appeased version of my opinion on last night. Like, definitely, if we recorded this last night, there would have been absolutely no doubt, no question of being a mouthpiece because I called them all the names under the sun.
Bring back Twitter Spaces, yeah.
Oh, I know. Twitter Spaces would have been. I think we would have got cancelled. In fact, I think even if anybody was to release the WhatsApp messages for last night, we would be at risk.
Well, you would.
I would be. I know you were fine. You were kind of sensible about it. What did you make of the game, Colin?
So I think I predicted 3-1, a 3-1 win because I thought we'll go through there and we'll surprise. So it wouldn't have been a surprise to me, obviously, but surprise everybody with a good result. And I thought that's where it was going. I thought we were going to come away with a 3-1. I thought I'm going to look like a fucking genius. But I thought we'd done all right. But I was looking at the stats this morning, and it was quite an even game. But it felt maybe a bit more comfortable than the stats would say. I didn't ever think we were going to lose the game. Like we were winning for quite a lot of it, but I didn't feel in any real danger. So I thought we were going to come away with a nice wee decent 2-1 in the end. But obviously we can't keep adding leads in a way.
Aye. It was made a joke on Hibs Net. You know how the boy Nick Griffin had accused Hibs fans of punching that pensioner, like the war veteran.
Is that came out the day that's all shite as well?
Aye,
I've seen that on
believe
Twitter,
so.
but I don't care if it's a verified one or not.
I believe that they've reviewed the video footage and think there's no case to answer.
Right.
And I think the guy in question, to the alleged victim, had said he got punched twice. I was like, well, it definitely couldn't have been Hibs because he'd have got 2 back in if it was us. You know what I mean? So, it was definitely wasn't us. I forgot where I was going with that. Where did we get started on? How did
the game?
Did he come up for the game? Oh, because we can't hold on to leads. That was it. Aye, that's state of affairs. The lineup. So there were rumours about the lineup before the game kicked off and before the lineup was released. I think if Hibs have got like a mole in the dressing room that's leaking stuff. Sometimes wrong. Sometimes leaking the wrong stuff as well.
Well, it was wrong last night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was big major surprises, we were told.
Well, I suppose Josh Campbell played up front.
He done that in his first game against Kilmarnock through there. Like, he played up front. He came on, I think, through there. So, don't know. Is that a surprise?
Well,
and it's more a midfielder playing in the midfielder playing in the withdrawn role or whatever they call it.
Yeah. And Whittaker at right back in for Miller. Was that a surprise for you?
Probably, because Miller's Miller's the only right back we've got. The laddie's the laddie, he's 16. You know, you're not expecting him to. He done all right, but I suppose it is a surprise. Maybe he just thinks Miller needs a rest because he's been playing probably every minute, every game. But
aye, I think I don't know if there's a question of Miller maybe being dropped to the bench just as a wee nod to say that what happened on Saturday wasn't acceptable.
What a mistake he made.
Aye,
I never dropped everybody else, did I? Fucking 4 of them there for that. Blame for
well,
that.
I mean, I suppose you've got a point there. It may be harsh to pin all the
They all started.
Yeah, and you've not enough players to drop the ball, Colin.
No,
You maybe just took the one that you thought was most culpable for it. And
they got the wrong one then.
Well, who would you have made most culpable?
Well, Marshall was a most culpable. Like, I mean, he's not even got close to it. Like, and then, I'd say Marshall above Miller. Miller lost the ball, went down silly, but we're not talking about the game again. Like Levitt was knackered, couldn't chase it.
Aye.
You know what I mean? All that boy was overtaking midfield to clear it off the line.
So when you saw the lineup, what were your thoughts?
I still just thought it doesn't really matter. Like, it was genuinely. I'm not just being smart. Like, it was. I genuinely thought we would get a reaction and get a good result. And I suppose it's still a good result. That's the thing when it comes down to it. A 2-2 away to the team that are quite clear in third place at the moment. It's probably would you probably have taken a draw before the game. I was hoping for the win and I fancied the win, but I think a draw away to third place. It's a good result.
It's definitely the manner of the draw that annoyed. Well, that's what annoyed me about it. I agree with you. I thought we started well. First half, I thought we were dead comfortable. Really, like St Mirren had a couple of like moments in the half, but overall, I thought Hibs were pretty good, and we played much better than I was expecting us to in that first half. What did you make of the goal?
It was a good finish for Campbell, but he's good at that. He scores, he chips in a lot of goals. You know, like he's probably up there as one of your top scorers this season already, is he? Because he scored a few at the start of the year. I mixed up with last year. Started to doubt myself there, but he took it well. But that's what he's like. Folk have said for ages. He's a number 10. And as much as if you were to go and review our archive, I've said, oh, he's good for running about in the big games. He's not much a footballer, but then he kind of goes and proves you wrong sometimes. Like, he put a cracking ball in for Nisbet once for a good goal, and he scored a few goals himself. That's maybe his position. That sort of 10 role. That's what folk have said for years. But I thought he took it well.
Good
I quite
finish.
like him. I didn't mind him. Like, he's one of the players that get hammered, but like, he's all right. Like, I praise like he's all right, but you know what I mean. I think he's bad at all.
No, I think he's no like at the. I can understand why he's no first pick in the system that Montgomery plays. I can understand why he's no first pick, and if everybody was fit and ready to play, I don't know how Campbell gets in the team, but he showed last night that if you do need to call on him, he can do a job. So we went in half time. I thought we deserved the lead. at half time. Second half starts. There's no long into it. We give away a penalty. Talk me through that penalty call, like the whole sort of scenario and the situation there.
It's just frustrating as fucking it. Like, you see them go to VAR and you go, oh, here we fucking go. So it's probably on the soft side, right? But and this is where football fucking pisses me off because it's on the soft side, but it is a penalty because he has grabbed his jersey. But didn't he get given most weeks? It's like you shout for it. I mean, Rocky was the one on Saturday, but I've not seen it back. But at the time, we were thinking, that's a penalty. I think Dodge got the header away. Rocky got pulled down. And you think, well, how's that? And you think, well, why? Well, it's like the selective nature. You're looking at it and getting the fouls. Do you remember a few years ago, good couple of seasons ago now, one of the, I think it was League Cup at the start of the season, Falkirk playing somebody, and the referee gave like 4 penalties in the game or something.
It was St Johnstone. I think it was, yes, St Johnstone. I'm sure it was, and they were all going fucking rage about it, saying like 10 penalties a game.
Change the rule. Aye. But then it's almost like, well, if you give them, then they'll stop doing it. Which is, there's logic in that. If you give 10 penalties, they'll not do it next week, and they'll not be 10 next week. But the problem we've got here is that's one there, and you go, well, that is a penalty, but for fuck's sake, it happens every week, and we didn't get them. That's the annoying thing yet. And the other thing as well, I think I've seen you messaging about it. You're looking at it and going, how's that not a foul at the front post? Because you get all the contradictory arguments, right? Venty won on Saturday, wasn't a penalty, and it wasn't one of the reasons it wasn't a penalty as well. He wasn't getting to the ball, and it was going to play anyway. Well, the boy wasn't getting to the ball last night.
Aye, never getting to it.
So we disregard that rule, that part of the rule, the night or last night. You know what I mean? It's like they just fucking flick and change all these mitigants or whatever you want to call them, like all these reasons, like just because.
Aye.
You go, well, he wasn't getting the ball, it wasn't coming to him, and is that not a foul on our defender? But you said, I think you'll have a better explanation that VAR kind of look at that because he's a defender.
So I think it's a flaw with the application of VAR, right? And this is just my understanding of it. Again, so I apologise if I'm miles off here, right? But VAR can get involved for penalty incidents, but not like a run-of-the-mill foul, right? So when a VAR goes to review for that incident, the only thing that is in scope for it is Obita Pullen. I think it was Taylor. Listen, Mirren play, right? I think that's his name. The other fouls, I think Marshall was fouled, and I think there's a foul on Rocky there. They're no in scope for VAR, so they wouldn't look for a free kick when the ball's going out for that. I think it went out for a goal kick. I think that was what happened in that phase of play. And before they give the goal kick, the review for the penalty decision, they wouldn't have gone and said, bring the play back because there's a foul on Obita or there's a foul on the goalie. They just play on. So I think what's happened there, and this is where it's flawed, is the referee's then sent to watch the footage and he has to ignore anything else that happens in that phase of play and concentrate on the penalty. And where that's ridiculous is you've got probably 3 or 4 different fouls in there, not just like Obita's one, but the one on Rocky, the one on Marshall, and there's other sort of players kind of clashing with each other that you could have probably found a foul if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But the scope of VAR doesn't allow for them to say, when you're reviewing that incident, look at all of that. Yeah. So all the referee's bothered about there is that shirt pull and he ignores the rest of it, and that seems inherently unfair. That you would go, they're getting a reward for us fouling them, but they can foul with impunity. And the ironic thing is, I think if they had scored for that first phase of play, the goal gets reviewed, right? So every goal gets reviewed.
Aye, so would have been pulled up there.
And they'd have gone, keeper's been fouled and Rocky's been fouled, going back to the screen and have a look. And the referee would have went to look.
You'd hope they would have.
Well, you would hope that, and he would have ignored the pull on the boy, and he would have went foul on Marshall or foul on Rocky. He kicked the Hibs. It's like...
That's mad, really, when you say it like that, when you explain it out. I mean, I see the logic, because there's a thing like, if you put it out, they give the corner by an error, and then they score for the corner. Well, they review any of the fouls in the box, but they don't say, well, shouldn't have been a corner, though, because the boy blatantly kicked it out. So it's almost that logic there, isn't it?
And it's even though they can see it, like even if it's blatant, and it's like the, remember Rangers scored the goal at Aberdeen last season. It was like they scored 2 late goals. And one of them, the boy, like it was a handball clear as day, and he knocked it to the other player who scored. And because he wasn't the player that scored it had the handball, they just ignored it. because that wasn't in scope. So you're going, that's going to be wrong. Surely you still have to go and acknowledge there's a foul there. But the rule is if, or at that point, I think it's maybe changed now, if the attacker, if the goal scorer handles it at all, the goal gets disallowed, and they're going, well, it wasn't him, so the goal stands. And you just think it's mental. You can see there's a handball there. Why are you ignoring it? And it's the scope of VAR. So I think they need to look at these things and say, like, that's clearly flawed. You can't have a system that's inherently unfair for certain situations.
Is this a common sense rule?
Aye, there should be like like, didn't get that penalty because there's two other fouls there. Or you have to pick the one that's most relevant, kind of one that's closest to the ball. Or
it's mad, when you say it, like, ignore the two fouls because why? Like, it's crazy.
Aye, because they're like no in scope. It's mental.
If that's the rule, there'll be a referee out there that'll probably correct us and then contradict himself next week.
That's what Derek Gallagher will be on telling us how we're wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And I was trying to kind of look up, and I couldn't find anything definitive that said you would ignore other bits, but there is definitive reasons why VAR would get involved. And it's annoying though, because we seem to be getting nothing from VAR.
Maybe have a wee run here. Surely have a wee run here.
I thought, in the second half when it was still 1-1 and we had a chance to go 2-1 up, I think Vente pretty much got cleared out. And there was a bit of smash. I think Campbell maybe had a shot, and
I remember that. Was it the ball was came to because I was in the house going, they'll check that in the VAR.
And
nothing ever happened. I never even said.
And after that would have been one that they definitely would have went back to review. Yeah. So I'm going, he's hit him, and you sort of rely on VAR doing the job. The only thing with that is everything's being reviewed, like in play. So the video assistants are watching it, and they maybe looked at it and went, "There's the need review. There's nothing in it." But I reckon how they would. But anyway, right. So they scored the penalty. We go 1-1. We get back into the game. Lovely goal for the second one. Talk us through that.
So Johan took a run up the right wing, didn't they? And I can't remember who played the ball across.
I think it's Vente.
But wasn't it Johan? Was it Vente? Aye. And then Newell got on the end of it, didn't they? There was two of them almost standing there waiting on it. I think maybe Johan was back in there looking for the. There was two of them anyway.
Aye, there was definitely Campbell or Campbell or Jair. And that kind of no easy.
Oh, it was Jair.
Mixed up. I think it was Jair that was.
Aye, I think it was actually. He was good. He was alright.
Yeah, he was.
He was decent. I had the Mirren TV commentary last night. They weren't too bad. They were all right.
Aye, they were all right.
At times, there was a couple of times they were saying, "I'm going about the time wasting," and you're thinking, "Aye, welcome to your world."
Aye.
And then they had. There was one where it was Jair, and the reason I remember is Jair got fouled, and I'm like, oh, he's looking for it there. He's kind of young. It was minutes after the penalty. Like the ball came to Jair just in halfway, and he turned the boy. He's done it a couple of times now. He's turned the boy and just takes a foul on the way around. Oh, he's looking for it there, and I thought there's more in that than there was in that fucking penalty, mate. Like, kind of like try and be like I can't run some bit on TV, but they're trying to be fair. Just let themselves doing a wee bit there.
Aye. I thought they were decent, though. I watched it on St Mirren TV as well, and I thought they were all right. So we 2-1, a few subs. Any complaints with the subs that we made towards the end of the game? Because that was kind of getting thrown about a wee bit last night as well.
Well, I suppose Boyle was on the bench and didn't come on, so you're thinking, well, but he did go off injured on Saturday, but then why have him on the bench if he's not going to play any minutes? Be another question. I'm not Miller coming on for Whittaker. That was earlier on. That was about 60 a shea. That's fair enough because he was tiring the laddie like. And other than that, I mean, I'm not sure why Vente doesn't play a whole game. Like,
I thought he looked knackered last night. Like when he went off, I was like, he looks like he's put a shift in.
But the lad came on, he done all right. Landers, he done all right. He ran about. It was funny though. You see the difference. He obviously went squared up as in fighting, but he went square on with Gogic, and he thought, I'll just knock it past him and run past him. They
didn't even get close to it.
that shows you the difference between a seasoned pro and a young upstart. It was just like mismatch. Like it was generally looked at it and you think, oh, maybe he's got a chance with pace or something. Got to get sort of coming a mile off it.
Aye,
And
very comfortable in that moment.
Well, he got Ken. The Hibs fans were. I didn't mind Gogic too much, but I thought, what was rid of him, because he wasn't any good. And you think, just saw him off there, brushed him away. Fair enough, he should. But I think it did show the difference between a laddie in his second game, and a seasoned pro. You got to try and kick it past me. Didn't think so. That's what it looked like. But so I suppose what I can't remember what their subs were, but Landers for Venti, I was a wee bit like, well, fair enough, give the laddie some minutes. Well, why even need to take Venti off again?
Aye, Jeggo came on for Levitt.
Oh, aye. But Levitt's coming back for injury as well, isn't he?
Aye.
So, and you could see that as ironically try to tighten things up, bringing on a more defensive-minded midfielder, which is a normal sub for people to make, I think.
Aye, I thought that made sense. I mean, I saw on .net there was an argument to say could have brought Lewis Stevenson off the bench and just tightened up the midfield, maybe sacrificed Venti for Stevenson and put another body in there. But I don't know what.
Used to be a forward or something.
It's hypothetical, really, isn't it? Like, what would have happened then? The goal was a bit unfortunate. Yuan's like sloppy player. He's just like, take a heavy touch as he's dribbling out. Now, I didn't really mind him breaking forward like that. Either at that time, he's got the pace, he's got the ability to do it. There's opportunity for them to take us up the pitch and probably relieve a bit of pressure. He just makes an arse it. Heavy touch. The ball goes in. Guy has a shot. Rocky clears his shot, lands at the boy's foot at the edge of the box, and he just fires in. Marshall doesn't move. Didn't think it would have made much difference if he did. Again, it was one of them.
No, he did take his off the ball. Can I ask you a question? You getting a bit of background noise for me?
Minimal.
That's all right then. Good.
Somebody on the drums.
It's showers through that wall, and I think the showers on.
Ah, right. No, well, I can't hear it.
That's fine. It was frustrating for you, and I've seen a bit of criticism on things like basically blaming him for the goal. He was partly to blame, but like I'm looking at it going, well, he's tried to break forward. He just forgot about the ball, or wasn't looking at the ball, lack of concentration, or thinking about what he was going to do next or whatever. But when he loses the ball there, halfway line-ish, not sure what side of the halfway line it was, but it was about halfway line. How many defenders are there maybe behind him that did he do anything to help out? It's maybe a team game, So he's tried to get forward and take the pressure off and go for a run, take it at the corner, whatever it was he was trying to do. And then nobody backs him up.
I think there's a screenshot, I think, that shows there's 6 Hibs players back, maybe 6 or 7 Hibs players back, and I think the other ones had broken forward maybe to give him an option to pass, and then they just hadn't go back. But they would have spread out to try and Yuan's going down that right hand side, so if we can take a couple of defenders out on the left hand side, he's got like a crossfield pass on, and we're through on goal. It was a combination of like a bit of sloppiness, a bit of bad luck with how the ball broke out, and then a good finish for the boy. But it was so deflating.
Rocky wasn't far away from it, actually, the getting in the road of it as well. But it's just deflating, And it came us even more deflating. I don't know what you think, but watching it on a stream and getting fucking messages before that because your stream's a wee bit faster or they're at the game.
I put my do not disturb on. I just put my phone out the way.
Is that what you do?
Aye.
I do that. I switch my notifications off the BBC, right? Because I get the BBC notifications while the score, so I'll switch that off. But now it's the fucking WhatsApp. You're like, fuck's sake. So my brother-in-law was at the game. He's like asking, was it a penalty for the VR? And I'm like, I've not even seen the fucking corner yet. You know, it's like, it's fucking annoying. That deflates you because you already know what's going to happen before it happens. It's even worse.
It is. But put the notifications off. Put the phone on do not disturb. And just tuck it to the side. Just try to pay attention to the game. Right, we'll go into the talking points, and we need to bear in mind. So this tweet went out asking for them at 18 minutes to 10 last night, so right on full time. So emotions were running high, and so we probably need to put that wee caveat and just to say that there's a lot of emotion in these ones. Right? Kaiser Soze, the first one said, "Sad state of affairs, bottle merchants, hashtag drain the swamp, roll on the transfer window." Last night definitely showed that the squad's weak, like in terms of strength and depth. So we were missing Doidge, Lafondre, Jego's just coming back for illness, so didn't play the full game, and Boyle wasn't fit to play 90 minutes or any minutes. And we were relying on 2 16-year-olds, Josh Campbell coming in. We definitely need players in January, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it. I'm not sure who else is out because that feels really like it didn't feel like that at the start of the season that the squad was like so thin. But then there's just 4 players out, and you're like, fuck's sake, get the Burns in.
Who else? Right? So we've got Cadden to come back at right back. Meg was out on loan, who also played right back, and Del Ferry, I can't remember if he was on the bench last night. He could play right back as well. But in midfield, we've not got much missing there. Like, but I think we need.
He's obviously.
He's we'll say we've got Melkerson due to come back. I think at the end of this month. I think his season finishes, and he'll be back at the club this month. Harry McCurdy will come back as well soon. I think he was.
We've not spoke about his pink Converse trainers yet, have we? For the hospitality.
No.
Oh no, you weren't there.
I wasn't there. I did.
Aye, pink Converse trainers.
What did you make of them
last week? I'm not convinced. But hey, it's not me. It's wearing them.
That's it. So the road I've made that point loads of times. Folk can wear what they fucking want, within reason. Right.
Aye, but I'm allowed to see.
Aye, yeah, you can see what you want. Aye, you can see what you want.
I've paid my money.
I'll be interested to see what happens with Melkerson and McCurdy, given what Montgomery's done with Jair, who everybody had written Jair off. Everybody. Right? I didn't ken anybody who, hand on heart, at the start of the season expected him to play any part for us. And he was good last night. He was good against Aberdeen on Saturday. I thought he looks like he's going to play an important part this season. So Melkerson, McCurdy, there may well be a future for them at the club as well. Jeff Ashton said, "I thought we bossed the first half, could have been more than 1 up. Started slow the second half, and VAR strikes again. Then we controlled it again. Super goal, few half chances. Then Ellie has a Stuart Armstrong moment, loses the ball, and it's 2-2. We were unlucky. Individual errors killed us."
Aye, is it unlucky though? Like that, I've had this conversation, and I can't remember. You know, it was Gordon Strachan. I heard him getting interviewed, and he was saying, I hear parents say, kids football going, "Oh, unlucky." Like, it's not unlucky. You need to do it better.
Aye.
You know what I mean? It's like it's not like you've hit a wonder shot and it's clipped the bar or something and nearly went in. That's unlucky. But like fundamental basics,
like dribbling the ball,
keeping your eye on the ball, passing it, like defending properly. You know, it's not unlucky. It's just not very good.
Aye.
So I know I'm just picking one word out there, but that's the thing. I think giving unlucky gives it a pass, but it's actually you need that better.
Yeah. It's interesting. Once I made this point on Twitter this morning when I was feeling better about things and sort of say, like, turn hat on. I was raging last night at the end, right? And as I've said already, kind of calling the team for all sorts, right? And really frustrated about things. In the cold light today, right? Hibs played well last night. You look at the team that was available at Montgomery, right? And you only need to look at the reaction when the announcement, when the team was announced, to see what most people, or a lot of people, thought about the team and how they rated their chances when they saw it. That team performed well. They played to a system. They almost won it, right? And they almost won it, and it would have been a deserved win. Had we held out, we would have deserved the win. No arguments. Montgomery deserves credit for that last night, I think. No criticism. I think it's the problems with the defence predate Montgomery, and he needs to fix it. But I think you see last night we were on the right track, and I can't folk have been slaughtering him, we got a wee bit of stick for even just like fucking asking the question, even though we were asked it when we did extra time about whether he was the right man. And I think there's clear evidence. Like when you watch that, you'd say, see if you were being objective and being fair to it, you would say Montgomery's done a good job last night with how he set up the team. And there's no question that the players are playing for them. There's no question they came what they're meant to be doing. We were organised. We were better than St Mirren for a lot of that match.
Yeah.
It hurts the way that we never won. But I think you can say there's positives there, and he deserves some credit for it.
Aye, no, I get that.
That said, Gordon said, "What's the fucking point?" And I pretty much thought the same thing at full time last night. The thing with that is, irrespective of how well we're played, we need to start getting some wins on the board there.
I know, well, that's the thing, and that's why it feels so bad, because we're not losing very often, but we're not winning very often. Like that's the thing, yeah, and that's what. And I think we spoke about here before. Like you're better winning one game than drawing two. You know what I mean? It's like it's just maths. Yeah? But then, it depends on where you want to spin your stats, because you can give it the more draws you've got, the more you can claim unbeaten runs. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just the feel good, but because we've not won enough games, and actually the one when did they win? It was quite near the beginning, wasn't
it? St Johnstone got 2-0 against St Johnstone and St Mirren in the
third
cup.
Game?
Aye.
Yeah. Oh, aye, the cup game, aye. And they were quite early on, though. Came back in September, October there, eh?
September, I think it was, aye.
Chucked a lot of points away. Kilmarnock away, another one. I went through that day. Should have won that day. Should have beat Dundee at home. And if they had been, even just they two had been turned round, I think we would have seen that as a much better result last night. We would have still been annoyed losing a late goal, but because you've already got an extra 4 points in the bank, probably take us up to 4th or 5th or something. No looked, but jump you up the league. At the feel good, it's a total different feel good, and you'd be going, we drew with Hearts and drew with Celtic, that's all right. Ken, like, but they draws just get mixed in with the other draws.
Aye,
that we should have won.
It would drive you mental as a manager, though. Like, you're watching that and you'd be going, "Fucking come on, boys, hold off," and then you just go, "Fuck's sake, no again."
Yeah.
Dave Graham said it all comes down to individual errors. Penalties just daft, and early switches off for the second. That's been the story of the season. Not subs, not formations, individual naivety.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Do you think, like, most things that go wrong in football are individual mistakes? So our managers just absolved the responsibility for that?
No, but sometimes it could be their own making, because he's played somebody out of position, like we've moaned about here, or he's played a formation that clearly doesn't match up or do anything. Whereas we're just playing basic 1980 style 4-4-2, eh? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows where you meant to run in that. There's no the difficult stuff.
You'll have triggered folk with that statement.
But that's what it is, though, isn't it?
Well, I would just say it was basic 1980s 4-4-2. There's much
because
more than that.
Because we've got a deep line striker.
I just think the
I always missed his big man me man up front. That's totally 80s stuff.
With the keeper launching it for the box.
Aye.
Anyway,
well, that's the difference. But it's. I guess it's a fairly basic. I think every player will know, like a 4-4-2, where they might go, what they might do, where the boundaries are of the position and that. So I don't think it's anything to do with that. It is doing to people just making mistakes. Whereas other times when we've had Johnson in charge, you're going, "What the fuck's he doing?" Like we talk about lotteries, the tombolas, and all that for picking players and stuff.
Yeah,
we're not doing that. That's like we've sorted all that out. We're picking pretty much, barring last night because injury and that, but we know we're 8-9 hour team. We know the formation we're going to be playing. So there's consistency, selection, consistency, formation. We'll talk chopping and changes. It'll be the same message to the players, but then they just go and make mistakes.
Aye.
So I can see what they've said.
Yeah. Part Fry's Image said Jake Hayes, Cadden, Alf, Doidge, McCurdy, all out injured, and we'd add something from the bench. Cooler heads towards the end, and we would have had a couple of more chances, and that's where the bench comes in. Boyle clearly given more rest, but he should have come on with Landers for Ellie Yuan. I think we spoke about it already with the strength and depth and the bench. And it was the same on Saturday against Aberdeen. You looked at the bench to see what we've got in there to turn the game, and there was just nothing. 150k or Hanlon Hill has got a nice wee image of Withnail and I. You ever seen that film, Colin?
No.
Good film. You should. They just said, "Can we have 3 points, please?" You should watch it. Film very, very funny, cult classic.
Heard that.
Aye, it's good. SDG at Highby Pessimist said Jair's best performance yet. He had a very good fullback in strain and all sorts of bother. The fact the new management team have got this level of improvement is a big plus point in their favour.
Aye, I mean, he was good, but he's getting better. Is more what I'm taking more positive. It wasn't like he was like unplayable or anything. He was good. But that's much better than what we expected. So
Aye,
it's a good positive sort of step forward.
He definitely looks more like he's feeling a part of things. I feel like he's kind of getting a handle on what he's meant to be doing, and that he's all right at this level.
Aye.
It's good. I like to see it because I kind of spoke earlier on about how nobody would have predicted that he would have a part to play this season. But I think the flip side is that is everybody's rooting for him.
Yeah.
I think because of his journey, if you like it, Hibs and how it had panned out to him up until this point.
Even the folk that were against him, that had written him off, have been quiet a wee bit, I think, on it. Like,
Aye.
But you could tell when he scored last week, the cheer, it felt noisier.
Aye, it did. I think there's a lot of goodwill towards him, and I think the fact that you can see him trying, like he's clearly putting effort in, he's getting at the kind of thumping the badge and fucking urging the crowd on and this kind of thing, which we wouldn't necessarily have seen before. So, it's good to see. I actually think that, and I think this stems for the manager as well. I think there's a lot of that in the team with folk playing for the badge and playing for the team. Like you kind of did the huddle in the warm up now. I just have that sort of the feeling that there's a good spirit. It's not quite showing in the results yet, but I think it's there.
Yeah.
Andrew Brown says, "Why can't we ever seem to hold out in these tight games? We always seem to crumble too easily. Having said that, we'd probably have taken a point tonight before the game."
I don't know if it's just because it's us and you notice it more, or if it happens to other teams as well, but it does feel like it happens a lot. St Mirren, St Johnstone games and that, the Ross County game the other night, you know what I mean? It feels like it happens a lot, but I don't know if it's just because it's worse because it's us. And
I think it's
noticing it, it hurts more, sort of thing.
Aye, I guess the bang 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 nature of this week, the fact that we've had 3 rapid, where you've gone fuck's sake. You definitely notice it, but I think it's been a season like that for us. We've just no. Even if you go back to St Mirren at the start of the season, they go 2-0 up, batter us. We turn on for 20 minutes, get back to 2-2, and you're thinking, all right, here we go, and then sucker punch right, and it's 3-2, and you go, fuck's sake.
It is mad. We've not spoken about that. There's bound to be a message there, but the amount of goals we're letting in is incredible. It's like, I think I said it in the group chat. I'm not sure if it was a group chat or where I said it, but like we gave everybody 2 goals at the start. It's like Ross County, like every team scored 2 goals against us. Mirren twice now, 2 and 3 they've scored now.
Yeah.
And 2 in the cup.
3 times, 3 times they've done
it. Ross County got 2. Fucking Motherwell, many they get 2 as well. Hearts got 2. Rangers got 4. You know what I mean? It's like fucking hell. Like we just like leaking goals, and I don't think we've let 1 goal in a game. I'm sure somebody put that in the chat.
Ewan posted it for
the slope. But we've had a couple of clean sheets, but if we didn't get a clean sheet, we're letting at least 2 in.
Well, it's out of the 12 games we've had, in 8 of them we've conceded 2 or more.
Because maybe 2-2 draws, you think, Hearts and Ross County, and last night there's 3 right away.
Yeah. It's mental. We have got the worst defence in the league, like in terms of goals against. And I think I don't think, see individually, if you look at, we talked about it on extra time last week, but individually, the players are all right. Like you're not necessarily saying we've got a problem at right back with Miller or a problem at left back with Abita. Centre halves are all right. Goalie, there's an issue, right? I think I
Yeah.
think it's still fair to say that. But I think it's the defend as a team thing that's not working for us. There's the defence are leaking goals because other areas aren't coming back and doing their bit. But again, I can't
Yeah.
pinpoint who.
It's not a consistent thing, is it? It's different
No.
people. It's different mistakes. It's not even like you go right. Mind we were saying a couple of seasons ago, when he stopped crosses coming from the right hand side or the left hand side, whatever it was. Was it only this season?
I started this season.
Aye. Whereas now it's like it's a different thing every week.
Aye.
It's not the same thing. How do you fix that? It's not like you can go right. We'll work on that. It was last season as well because I went to the open training session, and they were trying to stop crosses coming in. That was one of the drills they were doing.
Effective,
Aye, but then this season we've not got a thing. It's different every week. We fail.
Think the team deserve credit for kind of keeping it fresh, keeping folk guessing.
Yes, teams work it out quite quick, unfortunately.
Aye. Tom Wallace said, did anyone else have to endure home and away commentary in the second half of the St Mirren PPV? I think
Just away.
I think it was on some folks' streams they were getting Cliff and the boys from St Mirren.
Well, mixed in.
Aye.
Oh, interesting.
But they're not, and I haven't listened to both.
Aye.
One's all right, but no both together. Vince Robinson said, but for a couple of moments of naivety, that was a decent performance. When Nick's family arrive, I suggest we buy them a Doug. He needs to learn how to hold the lead.
Yeah.
Very good. A.K. Rab said, another draw feeling like a loss. I wish Marsh would at least make a dive for some of these shots. A fair amount of goals where he's just stood and watched it go in. Probably a grumpy, unfair rant, but I'm sticking by it for now.
I'm not blaming Marshall for last night. I don't think he did dive.
For the second one, he didn't.
He no dive.
Nah, watched it go in.
Right.
I'm never sure about that one, because I totally get the point. There's no point diving just to make it look like you've done something.
You've got to, because folk got on your case. I spoke this when Macy was in goals. There was one he didn't dive for, and I was like, but he was never getting it. But you've got to dive, otherwise folk criticise you for not trying.
Aye, and I suppose there is the argument that sometimes you take a chance and dive, and you might get something on it. I'm sure some of the wonder saves you see for keepers are ones that they've just gone, fuck it, I'll try. Nothing to lose. William Turner said, sack everyone and fold it. Fans, board, management, players, let's all just meet up for pints and keep being the sound cunts that we are. Is a wee bit of football's rude on a good day out there now.
Oh, it wasn't Saturday.
Saturday. Paul McQueenie said, rookie manager doing rookie stuff. I think that's fair.
I'm not sure. I think that's probably the action of the subs, is it?
I think so.
I'm not sure about
that. DJ 1875 says, starting to look like last season's Dundee United, a team that looks to have decent players but can't win a game. So Dundee United went down as a result of doing that. I think their defence was a problem for them as well. They lost. There's some heavy defeats, and we've not quite had the proper spankings other than Villa and Rangers.
No, we're competing. We're drawing a lot of games. We're not a lot of goals, but we're not losing loads of games. So we're scoring goals. If we could even just cut one of the goals out, we'll win games.
Michael said another 2-2 is sickening. However, felt we mostly controlled that game. St Mirren's only real threat came from the crossing, which we mostly dealt with. If Yuan holds on to the ball and the player closing down doesn't slip, then it's a good away win to the third best team in the league. Chief Brody said there's luck, no luck, and Hibs luck. So that's very clever. Stuart said roll on January to see how deep Foley's pockets are. We not really spoke about that. There was a wee bit of sort of rumbling on the jungle drums yesterday, wasn't there, about that deal being finalised to get the investment in, but as of 9 o'clock on Thursday night, there's been nothing official for us to kind of confirm to say aye or no that that's happening. We didn't get any details behind it, but watch this space, I suppose. WW said, shouldn't be given Landers time on the park with a 1-goal lead. Venti should have stayed on to at least hold on to the ball.
I can see that, but we would also be moaning if we weren't giving youth a chance like we were last year. if when you want to bring them on, like we've got to be 2-3 goals up, or is it when we're getting pumped that you bring them on? Like I don't know. Like what's the harm bringing them on when you're winning a game?
And I think like
Apart from losing, apart from not winning at an end, but it's not his fault.
no, I think the manager's right. Well, maybe he's not right. Maybe this is the lesson that you learn. But you should. Like if I'm going to say something, I'm not sure I agree with myself, right? But I think if you're Montgomery and you're a couple of minutes of the game left to play and you're 2-1 up, you should be able to trust the team to see that out.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's enough experience on the park, even with putting a 16-year-old on in a forward position that's not really impacting the play that much. You should be able to trust the team to do that, and I don't think
you brought him on at centre half or anything. You know what I mean? You brought him a striker. It's like the least fucking like get out of the road up there.
Aye, yeah. I think that's. I just don't think the subs really had the impact on the way that we lost the goal that folk are making out.
Uh-huh.
Callum M said Yuan's awful and Yuan awful and again loses possession so easily for St Mirren to counter and get the equaliser. Part the size of a pea. He's fine with losing as long as he looks good. Man down the vast majority of games with him in the team. That's
very unfair.
It's harsh. Like you look at our second goal and Yuan's contribution there. It was.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd have Yuan in the team, or I would. He's almost like one of the first names in the team sheet.
He frustrates me, and I'm wondering about it here. I think he takes the wrong option at times, and like last night he's made that mistake. But I've not got the stats, but I've read some stuff that he's got. His assists plus goals is the highest in the team. So take him out of the team, and we've not got that, and then we're losing games rather than drawing them.
Aye. He's a player I love watching, and I'm prepared to put up with the fucking shite moments just to have the good bits.
We've got him here now to develop him, to sell him on, and the reason he's developed is because he makes the wrong decision and he makes mistakes like he does, but he also does what he does for the second goal and what he done at Tynecastle.
Yeah.
So it's like the balance here. There's definitely no getting out the team altogether. I mean, that's just the reaction. Everybody's pissed off last night, unless that's just came in the last 12 hours. You know, I hope that was 24 hours ago that came in.
It pretty much wasn't, and the last one's the same as well. This is from Home of Hibs. He just says Hibs are shite, bottle jobs. Got to be some half decent free agents out there we can get before January. The next few weeks will be painful. Marshall has to be one of, if not the worst Hibs goalie I've ever seen in my puff.
No chance.
No, if you live through like the Zibby days,
No, and Oily goals at that
well,
time.
Aye.
But then you've got at the other point there, free agents. If they're that fucking good, they're no free agents in November. Like,
no, that's it. There's some reason that they're not being getting signed. It does feel like January is going to be huge, though. And you hope if this investment's coming in, it's in time for us to kind of go and get a decent plan to say, right, let's get a good January window and fucking have a good tilt at it in the second half of the season because.
Mm-hmm. We're not far away though. Like we're not far away for off St Mirren, like and for third place, if you want to say that on St Mirren. We're not far off it points wise. We're not far off it by scoring goals. We just need to tighten the defensive level. And I'm not meaning just the defence, like the team, like you mentioned there. Defend as a team.
All right, Kilmarnock on Saturday, Colin. How do you see that going?
I'll go on that. 3-1.
3-1, 3-2 it'll be.
Aye.
I fancy us maybe get our first clean sheet of the season. I think Kelly.
Do you mean a clean sheet with a win?
Aye. We've won by clean sheets. We'll beat St Johnstone.
I was thinking of the 2-0 draws.
It feels like we've never had one for fucking decades. I think we're going to get a clean sheet. I think we're going to win by a couple. I think we're close to it. If we've got, I think Lafondre or Doige back fit or Boyle, like one of those three back to contribute, I think we'll be all right.
Aye, that's a big miss, eh? There's too many of them out, eh? Yeah.
And I'm really liking Levitt and Newell in the middle. I would keep them together and
I like Levitt.
Let Diego find his way back into the team when one of them kind of their performance drops. But I think
Newell was excellent last night, by the way. I thought he was like a proper captain last night. You know, he was running about, he putting tackles and taking the book in, scoring the goal.
Did a bit shitty about him last night. He got away with a few without getting a booking.
Aye, but he was a better footballer.
Yeah.
I like Shinny, I think he's a good player as well.
Aye. Oh, I would take him in the team as well. I didn't really like him, but I would take him in the team. I think he's.
He would if he was in Hibs, though.
Aye,
That's the thing.
but he's not. So fuck.
Yeah.
Until if and when he signs, I'll like him. But until then, fuck him. Anyway, right. That's us out of time. Thanks very much for all your talking points, and we totally appreciate that these were in the heat of the moment. I'm sure there's some kind of calmer heads sport. Maybe not. Maybe still feel like that, and that's fair enough. It gives me a bit of opinions. Then another is
Pig your money. See what you want.
aye. That's it. That's it. Yeah, just as valid as yours. Right. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and we'll see you next time.
County line I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee.